So psychedelic are a compound that can influence the mind, and they also could have therapeutical effects. So these are compounds like psilocybin, LSD, and some people also include other drugs like MDMA or ketamine in this class. Psychedelics have been shown to have beneficial effects for a range of psychiatric disorders. So these include disorders like major depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, and maybe even PTSD. Psychedelics have been used for several thousand years. I mean, it has a long cultural and spiritual significance. For psilocybin specifically, which my lab studies, is used in sort of the Central America, Mexico area for quite a long time. But I think that kind of study led itself to modern day, where now we have rigorous clinical trial. So there's really a resurgence in activity in terms of studying these drugs as therapies. We don't really quite know how psychedelic work, but one of the main ideas is that they might work by inducing plasticity in the brain. What that means is they might induce changes in neuronal structure and also neuronal function over a long time scale. So that's quite different from existing drug, where we have to take the drugs daily to have an effect. One of the better known study from my lab is to show that a single dose of the psychedelic psilocybin can induce very long-lasting structural changes in the brain. What we show is that when we look into the brain of a mouse and you give it one single dose of psilocybin, we find that it increases the number of neuronal connections in the brain, and it can last for up to a month. So that's quite striking because just of the time scale of it, which really suggests that some of these changes in the brain could underpin and support the therapeutic effects of these drugs. The brain itself is a complex organ with many different cell types. So far, we've studied only a few cell types. We're very interested in how the drug could act on other cells, like cells in the blood vessel, or cells that are giving out inhibition that silence other neurons. These drugs, psychedelic, could also act on many other biological systems and pathways to exert their effect. So we're very excited to understand the drug action in the whole brain level. I find studying psychedelics to be quite rewarding, mostly because I think it touches a lot of people. What I mean by that is when I talk to people about my research, they often had a very positive reaction that the research makes an impact. I still remember one time I went to this a music festival organized by One Mind, and there were many people who came up to me to tell me about how their loved one suffer from neuropsychiatric disorder, or some of them even have relatives that are trying to become therapists to help other people, and they really find this research valuable. So for me, that really put a lot of meaning in the research. I think we're poised to make even more exciting discovery in the coming decade. So I'm very excited about that.